Beyond the quiet desert and endless skies, New Mexico hides a world rarely seen. Far from the bright lights of Santa Fe and Albuquerque lie scattered small towns that move to their own rhythm. Slow, grounded, silently preserving a heritage long forgotten by the outside world. In this journey, we're taking a closer look at 10 of the most remote towns in New Mexico. Places you won't find on a typical tourist map, but where life still pulses with meaning, culture, and truth. From fading art trails and wide open fields, to stories etched in crumbling buildings, this is the hidden face of the American Southwest. Tucked away in Catron County, there's a little town with a name that sounds like a joke, Pie Town. But don't let the name fool you. This tiny town in western New Mexico lives up to its legend, quite literally through a slice of pie. At the heart of this town's revival is Kathy Knapp, known by locals and travelers as the Pie Lady. She reopened her family's old pie shop and turned it into a warm gathering place for wanderers, road trippers, and lovers of home-cooked food. Apple pie, pecan pie, blueberry pie. Each slice tells a story, not just of flavor, but of community, tradition, and grit. Every year, Pie Town hosts a pie festival. Massive skillets bubble with fruit and crust. Sweet smells drift across the desert wind, and people don't just come to eat, they come to connect. From the sweet scent of pie, we head into a town built on art, color, and creativity. Its name might sound familiar, Madrid? But no, this isn't Spain. This Madrid sits along the scenic Turquoise Trail, a stretch of highway that links Santa Fe to Albuquerque. Though not far from the Mexican border, Madrid's roots run deep into New Mexico's colonial past. Once a booming coal mining town, Madrid has transformed into a quirky, vibrant haven for artists. The moment you enter, the mood changes. Roads are lined with art galleries, metal sculptures, surreal paintings, and murals that seem to follow you with their gaze. Old mining buildings now serve as cozy, bohemian cafes, craft shops, and even tiny theaters. Some folks came here for a quick vacation and never left. They fell in love with the peace, the freedom, and the wild beauty of a town with only about 300 residents. It's strange, it's creative, and it's absolutely one of a kind. If Madrid is an artist's retreat, Chloride is a ghost town that still whispers. Located in Sierra County, Chloride was once fueled by silver. This used to be a thriving mining town, and today, its dusty buildings stand like guardians of history. Now home to fewer than 15 people, Chloride refuses to vanish. Locals have stayed behind, devoted to preserving the stories buried deep in the canyon walls. At the heart of town, the Pioneer Store Museum houses relics, old photographs, and artifacts from a bygone era. It's more than just a collection, it's a time capsule. Here, time moves slowly. Silence becomes a language, and every wooden wall echoes with the voices of a past that refuses to be forgotten. Leaving behind the stillness of Chloride, we head northeast into Colfax County. Here lies a small town with a name that echoes the Wild West. Cimarron, once a key stop for trade and migration between the American Southwest and northern Mexico, Cimarron carries deep roots in frontier history. One of its most famous landmarks, the St. James Hotel, over a century old and famously haunted. Its ghost stories have drawn curious travelers for years, adding mystery to this rugged western town. With a population of just around 700, Cimarron comes alive in the summer. That's when tourists and scouts from Philmont Scout Ranch fill the quiet streets. Life here is a blend of daily routines and deep tradition, where legends and reality walk side by side. Next, we move west to the edge of Arizona, to a town where art and nature speak in silence. Welcome to Quemado, a place where imagination meets the wide open land. What makes Quemado unforgettable is the Lightning Field, an outdoor art installation by Walter de Maria. Hundreds of tall steel poles are carefully placed across the grasslands, stretching into the horizon. It's more than sculpture, it's an experience. A moment to pause and reflect on our relationship with nature, sky, and silence. Beyond the artwork, Quemado is home to just over 200 residents. Life here is quiet. People farm, raise livestock, and live with intention. What binds this town together isn't just geography. It's trust, community, and traditions that run deep. From Quemado's quiet artscape, we head southeast into the fading hills of a once booming gold town, Hillsboro. Back in the late 1800s, this place was buzzing with miners, merchants, and gamblers, all chasing dreams of gold and fortune. But like many mining towns, the glory didn't last. Today, Hillsboro wears a different face. Home to retirees, artists, and local craftsmen who choose peace over noise. Faded adobe buildings still stand, proudly holding on to the town's past. Small art galleries, antique shops, and homemade cafes bring a warm touch to the otherwise fragile economy. With a population of fewer than 200 people, Hillsboro may be quiet, but it's full of soul. It's a place where time moves slowly, and old stories are never truly forgotten. Next up is Jemez Springs, tucked away in Sandoval County. This isn't just a mountain village. It's a place of healing, both physical and spiritual. For centuries, people have traveled here to soak in its natural hot springs. From the Pueblo tribes to Spanish settlers to modern-day wanderers, the warmth of the earth has always been this town's heart. But the soul of Jemez Springs runs deeper than water. It thrives in small art galleries, retreat centers, cozy restaurants, and quiet churches woven into the landscape. Here, the silence of the Jemez Mountains invites reflection. This isn't just a place to live. It's a place to pause and breathe. After the healing hush of Jemez, we journey northeast to a village that might not even show up on your map, Mosquero. Located in Hardin County and home to fewer than 100 people, Mosquero is the kind of place you might drive past. But never forget, once you've seen it, what makes it special. The walls of its old buildings are painted with massive murals. Scenes of cowboys, homesteaders, and a past full of grit and land. There's no flashy infrastructure here. But what exists is something stronger, a shared spirit that refuses to be erased. With a single school campus, a general store, and a deep sense of community, Mosquero proves that isolation doesn't have to mean loneliness. Next on our journey is Carrizozo, a small town in Lincoln County, where creativity quietly pulses beneath the desert sky. This town lies in what was once part of Mexican territory, a landscape shaped by history and reclaimed by artists, gallery owners, and those who chose a simpler life with deeper meaning. Along its main street, Western-style buildings sit beside art spaces and vintage shops. Life here isn't about speed. It's about space to create, to reflect, and to simply breathe. Just miles from White Sands and Valley of Fires, Carrizozo is a hidden gem for travelers and dreamers alike. And while its remote location means fewer crowds, That's exactly what makes it special. It offers quiet, creative, soulful quiet, where art, history, and nature speak without needing to shout. And finally, we arrive at Columbus, a town with a name that echoes through history. From a distance, it looks ordinary. Straight streets, low houses, and that endless desert sun. But behind this stillness lies a powerful memory. In 1916, the forces of Pancho Villa crossed the border and attacked this town. A bold raid that triggered America's military involvement in cross-border conflict with Mexico. It shook both nations. Today, Columbus lives at a gentler pace. Some work at the border station, others tend to small farms or run local shops. The town's museum and memorial preserve the past, reminding visitors how fragile borders can be and how strong memory remains. Columbus isn't just a dot on a map. It's a reminder that history often hides in the quietest places, and that border towns hold stories more layered than we ever expect. So here we are, 10 towns across New Mexico, where time slows down, but spirit never fades. In their silence, these places speak volumes of resilience, of identity, of beauty that doesn't scream but whispers. Being remote doesn't mean being forgotten. In fact, some of America's most honest stories live here, in quiet corners, under open skies, among people who stay not because they must, but because they choose to. Out of these 10 towns, which one speaks to you the most? Or maybe they all leave you wondering, what would it really feel like to live in a place like this?